Friend, I'm so glad you made it over here because I got a few stories for you today. I hope you're ready. What's up, YouTube? It's been a long time coming. I was supposed to come over here a long time ago and give y'all my stories. I'm so sorry it took so long. I decided to just bring my stories from TikTok over to YouTube because it seemed like every time I did that, so many people would show me so much love, especially when it was anything about like conspiracy theories or my paranormal stories. Everybody always showed a lot of love. And I was like, you know what? I think YouTube need to hear about it. So I'm going to put a compilation of videos together. Some are mine, others are from other creators. I will be tagging them down below. Well, we're going to start off with the first video. I don't want to bother y'all too much. We're going to start off with the first video. It's going to come from me. And this story comes from me visiting someone, and they had a guest in their home. And we're going to talk about it when the video's done. I will be talking in between these videos just to get my POV, but let's just see what's going on. Hey y'all, I got another story time. So this is a ghost story, but I promise you, we wouldn't sleep. So I was with my ex, and at the time we was at his grandfather's house. I had spent the night with him. And it's a 2-level house, and his grandfather's room is upstairs. So we just sitting there one night. I know it was pretty late. I think it's at least 12, and we just sitting there talking. Now, and the rooms down, it's 2 rooms downstairs, which is right by the laundry area. So we're just sitting there, and the door just opens. But the way the door opens, it makes a lot of noise. You have to put some force into it. It's just not easily open. So we hear the door snatch open. So we stop what we talking about, and we look at each other. And we ain't say nothing, but we looking at each other like, you heard that? Yeah, I heard that. Like, what is that? So we just stopping. We got quiet. We just listening. So after the door snatch open, we hear some rattling. And we just standing there, and I'm like, we just sitting there, and I'm like, and we looking at each other again, like speaking to each other without saying that, like, shh, I ain't going. He looking like, I ain't going either. We just gonna sit here, like, whatever. So my thing was, it couldn't have been his grandfather because he was elderly, rest in peace. But he's really elderly. And it takes him a little time to move, and sometimes when you can hear him move around upstairs, he was asleep. I know for a fact he had to be asleep because we hadn't heard anything from him, and it would have took him some time to come down the stairs and go back up. We'd have heard all of that. We didn't hear none of that. So we just sat there and we was quiet, and I can't remember if we prayed or not, but I know me and I know him. So we just sat there for a little bit. After that, we didn't hear nothing. So the next morning, we got up. We walk over to the room. It was a steel, what do you call it? A steel stool. It was a stool that was sitting in the laundry room. Nobody really sat in it, though. It sat under this table. That stool was in front of the door. The door was wide open, and the stool was sitting right in the middle, like right there, right when you finna cross into the room. And we looking at each other like, now how and when, how? Because we were the only 3 people in the house, me, him, his grandfather. And we thought that was so weird. Like, mind you, he used to tell me that he used to experience stuff downstairs. And I used to ask him sometimes when I come over, like, why you always keep this light on? Because, you know, in black folk house, you got to cut these lights off. He's like, nah, down here, I don't keep these lights off because something is down here. And, yeah, that was one of the many stories I have in that house. So if y'all want another story, I can give you another one. But that's another story I got for y'all. This really happened. I ain't trying to fabricate nothing, but, yeah. When I tell you, the house was haunted, it was so many times where you felt that eerie feeling being downstairs, like somebody was watching you. It was just all type of stuff. Like, I could tell y'all so many stories about that, but yeah.
I told homie I do a story time on this. So this comment right here is talking about a place called Bloods Point Road near my hometown. It's a creepy little road with a cemetery at the end. Now, if you don't like scary shit, you might want to like scroll up or some shit because it gets a little weird. So this happened like 15 years ago because I remember it was 4th of July night. I remember me and my homies, we watched some fireworks. After the fireworks, I think I brought it up. I was like, it's a haunted road nearby. And they was all like, yeah, bet, cool, let's go check it out. You know, some high school shit. Um, so I'm the DDs. I'm the only one in my friend group at the time that didn't drink. So on this particular night too, I remember I'm really intuitive about shit like this, but I had the worst feeling as we were going down this road, the worst fucking feeling. So as we got near the road, I remember the temperature dropped, it got a little cooler, and as we pulled up to the road, nobody else noticed this shit. I'm like, nobody else noticed this fucking fog everywhere? Fog just everywhere. Fog was creeping out the cemetery like on some movie shit. So I stopped the car, they all got out the car, and I'm like, I ain't getting out the car. This is fucking creepy as shit. And I've been to this road before, given nothing happened nothing happened the previous times that I've been to this road before. But on this night, something was just telling me like this is fucking creepy as shit. So they all get out the car. Maybe like 4 or 5 minutes went by, and I'm like, shit, nigga, I don't want to be in this car by myself either. So I got out the car, I walked into the cemetery, and I could hear him like laughing and talking and shit all in the cemetery. We had a big group of people, like 5 people with us. But I could hear them laughing, so I went towards where I heard them laughing at. But as soon as I got in the cemetery, I heard this noise like, and I would never fucking forget that noise. Because then when I looked over, maybe about 25, 30 feet to my right, there's a group of people in fucking white hoods, and they were all illuminated, just fucking chanting. I froze in place. I froze. I couldn't move. And then I remember my homie came. He was like laughing, and he came over talking. I was like, shh, be quiet, be quiet. I was like, listen. And I was like, you hear that? And he heard the humming. He's like, what is that? I pointed over. He looked over, and he saw the group of people too. So I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he says, I'll never forget this shit either. He reaches down and says, I'm gonna throw a rock at him. I'm like, nigga, no. So I saw this shit happen in slow motion. He took the rock flew up in the air in slow motion. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the group of people. I'm looking at the rock. The rock lands right where the group of people were. They fucking vanished. Thin air, they vanished. So me and him looked at each other. We started screaming, which triggered the rest of our friends in the cemetery. They started screaming too. They didn't know why they were screaming. They ran towards us, and we're running back towards the car trying to get out the cemetery. And I remember one of the girls who was with, she flung in front of me a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, something fucking pushed me. So we started running harder, nigga. Then when we got into the car, I'm panicking. I'm trying to put the key into the ignition. It was an old Cavalier. I'm trying to put the key into the ignition, and the fucking car would not start up. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta calm down. It finally started up. And then when it did, put the lights on, we getting ready to go. A old cop car goes by, and I can't remember if he stopped us. I cannot remember if he stopped us on this night, but it's a creepy old looking cop car. And I think he might have like, hey, you guy can't be here or something. I think he did say something like that. So anyway, we got in the car, we're driving home. I'm still like, what the fuck did I witness? Everybody in the car is scared, but they don't know why they're scared though. They're just, they're just fucking freaking out. So then, uh, I remember, they were taking pictures. I didn't take any that night, but some people were taking pictures in the cemetery, and none of the pictures fucking showed up at all. Like they're all blurry and shit. And the only picture that showed up was a tombstone, and the tombstone had one of my friends' names on it, and it had his fucking birthday. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is some shit you just don't forget, nigga. Uh, so then when I got back home that night, I remember looking up like researching shit on Bloods Point Road, and all the shit we like sort of happened that night. Other people like, yeah, we've seen this shit too. And they're like, there's also gonna be this red fucking creepy police car that's gonna pull up and stop you, then it vanishes. I'm like, this is fucking creepy, nigga. So I have not been back to that road since any of that night. That was 15 years ago, bro. So that shit was.
No, absolutely not. Mm-mm. No, I can't do it. No. Mm-mm. The only time I will go to the cemetery is if I'm visiting family. We ain't trying to go in no haunted houses. None of that. Mm-mm. I'm good on all that. No, thank you. Okay. Now this next creator, he is gonna explain what happened while he was at work and he saw a shadow person. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
As a person who's had many jobs throughout my life, I've worked in one hospital and three retirement homes, and when they say you can sense when death is in there, it is absolutely true. And as a person, as y'all know from my other mini story times, grew up in a woo woo family, was raised by psychics. In one retirement home, I was a dietary aide. In another one, I was doing housekeeping. I did activities in one, and then kitchen staff in the hospital. When I used to set the tables for breakfast, one morning in specific, I would see things out of my peripheral vision. And sometimes you just see shit and you're like, okay, whatever. But I remember one morning I was there. It was probably about like 4:50, because I was one of those people, if I was due to be there at like 5:30 a.m., I would get there at like 4:50, because when you're early, you're on time, and when you're on time, you're late. That's just how I grew up. Not so much anymore. I remember I'm setting the table, right? Juice cups, forks, placemats, and out of my peripheral vision, I see something. But usually, like, when you see shadow people, if you're spiritually woo-woo, this is for you. If not, keep it moving. When you usually see, like, shadow people, they move so fast so you can't catch them. But this shadow person out of my peripheral is, like, moving at a moderate pace, like, fast enough to be on a move, but slow enough for me to, if I look that way, bitch is still gonna be there. And usually whenever I've seen shadow people, they move so fast you don't catch them. But since this one's moving so slow, the first thing my logical brain is like, oh, it's a resident. And it's already early in the morning, and I'm out in the dining hall, and the dining hall only got like a lamp on, and it's this big ass empty room, so it's darkish. Oh, I look towards this black figure, right? And it just goes like this, just walks right by. And I yell out, hey, what's up? You up early? Because I don't know who it is, because it's in all black. So I'm just saying in general, waiting for somebody to respond. So when I look over at it, it's kind of like I'm at a loss for words, but not from fear, but because, like, when you just literally can't compute what you're seeing? And this figure is down the hall, and I have horrible eyesight. So everything looks like shadows to me, bitch. And from down the hall, as it kept on walking this way, I backed up and I peeked and realized there wasn't no door for it to go. So where did this shit just go? And I go to my mom for everything. She a psychic, old school fool. So I tell her what I see. And when I say my mom is psychic, not like on some Long Island medium shit. So as I explain everything I seen, she said it sounds like a form of death. And she says it so like matter-of-factly, because spiritual shit and woo-woo shit happens all the time. She says it sounds like somebody's gonna be leaving soon. Girl, then she flips it on me and she says, well, bitch, what you scared for? That's how my mama talk. She says, bitch, you better be living right. But she said, just in case you ain't, put a pinch of salt in your shoe. But in conclusion, she says, it sounds like somebody about to be leaving that retirement home. Fast forward lunchtime. It's around like 12:01. I'm cleaning up from lunch, right? And elderly used to make a mess. And I remember we had one resident that had MRSA. Ooh, that's another story for another time. I'm collecting the plates to bring them into the dishwashing area. So, girl, why coming out the elevator while I'm cleaning up the eating room, I see some coroners coming out of the elevator with a body with a white sheet over it. The secretary, who died? And it was one of the only black ladies on the second floor, the memory care unit. Now, see, as a woo-woo person like me, that's not the first form of death I've seen, but it is one of the most memorable that stuck with me. And I came home and I told my mom, and my mom was like, I told you that was gonna happen, nigga. Because my mom was like, I knew as soon as you started describing that. Because back in the day, back in like the 80s, my mom used to work in nursing homes and stuff like that. She said, I knew it because she's like, I used to see that bitch too.
I don't know how I would have been able to keep myself together after seeing that, because what do you mean? And then the way his mom confirmed it and everything, yeah, seeing a shadow person it really screws it messes with your mind. It screw your brain, it scrambles it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what though? We got somebody else who saw a shadow person. Oh, yeah, y'all excuse me. But I was one night I was with somebody's son. I ended up leaving with him. I think this was like around 11 or 12 at night, whatever. And I'm finna come up. I'm hitting this back way because that's where the navigation telling me I'm hitting this back street. And as soon as I get to the stop sign, in front of me is like some woods, nothing but woods. Mind you, this whole back street, nothing but fucking woods, right? So as soon as I'm finna make a left, my lights turns and shine on this sign. And I promise you, when I turned that corner, I saw a shadow person. But the shadow person was squatting down. When the lights came up on the shadow person, this motherfucker got up and took off in the woods. I know for a fact that wasn't no person with no black on, because the way it was kind of like see through, but it was a black mass of a human form. Got up, took off in the woods. Man, my eyes got so big, and mind you, my car is named Blue. Her name Blue. I had Blue ass on 2 wheels trying to get the fuck up out of there. No, not today. Not on this road. Time to go. I need to be with other cars. I need to see some stuff. But yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh nah, bro. We ain't finna explore. We ain't trying to figure out what it is. We finna go. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, friend. That happened. And let me just be clear about this. I was sober. Okay? I didn't drink anything. I didn't smoke nothing. What I saw was that person. And like I said, it wasn't nobody who was in black, because I kind of could see through it. But the way you just got up and took off in the woods, no, 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 no. You ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to worry about me chasing you, asking you no questions, and can you knock on this 3 times? That nope, 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 nope. You're going about your way. I'm going about mine. Cause no, you ran for a reason. we not going to do that. No, not at all. Absolutely not. That is all I got for today. I hope y'all like these videos. And I will be throwing more of my videos in there. If you ain't following me on TikTok, it's Curse the Worst. I will have it in the description down below. But yeah, y'all go follow me on there too. And the video y'all saw earlier, the first one, that's actually pinned on my page. So yeah, I got others, but I'm gonna try to bring more of my content to YouTube, because I've been giving TikTok all the good stuff. But yeah, I think we're gonna make this a thing with the pack files, because it's too many stories out there, and who doesn't like a good ghost story? Like, we ain't dabbling in the name bad. We just like to hear a good ghost story, something to just twist your brain, especially when it comes from everyday people like us. You know, not too much, not from any celebrities, just regular everyday people. And sometimes people don't really feel comfortable with sharing their stories, because they feel like somebody's not going to believe them. And when I tell you, I have all type of stories, y'all, like all type of dreams, everything, premonition. It gets deep, but y'all gonna learn. The more you come over here, hopefully y'all come over here more often. But the more you come over here, I'm gonna be throwing a lot of my videos in there, because I experience stuff every single day. And anybody who really know me, they know, like, I got stories for days. But that's why I'm here. But other than that, I appreciate you guys for watching. If you stayed this long, I really appreciate you for that. But like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, go follow me on TikTok. Curse the Worst. Like, I appreciate y'all, but I hope to see y'all next time.